How old was I when I discovered I wanted to be a musician? That's a tough question. I knew that I enjoyed singing for a long time, but whenever I realized that I wanted to pursue it full time and actually be a musician, then I would say 2020. I was never really realized that. Wait, in the industry, what's the most shocking thing to you about the music industry that would be surprising to people who aren't? I'd have to say that the most surprising or shocking thing about the industry is just more that politics overshines talent. What is the most challenging song that I've ever learned? I guess I would say My Mind by 𝐽𝑜𝑢𝑟𝑑𝑎𝑛. The most important I hope to convey through my music, mental health probably is definitely something that I really want to advocate for. Like suicide prevention and mental health is just something that I struggled with a lot growing up. And so I think that being able to use my music in order to help spread awareness and hopefully let people know that they're not alone and that there are literally so many ways to, not so many ways, but you don't have to just succumb to that feeling, that you can do this. I'm living my life so happy right now. And a few years ago, it was so much different, so thank you so much. I appreciate you. So that would probably be it. Just you can, cheesy as it sounds, you can literally do whatever you put your mind to. How do I handle criticism of my music? Well, to be honest, there's two answers to that. So depending on who is the critic, because for most people, I genuinely do not care about your opinion. It just doesn't affect me. You can tell me how terrible or amazing I am, and I'm just it doesn't really matter. But for people whose opinion that I hold valuable in my mind, I would say that I take the criticism as a way to better myself. Because I look for criticism. I look to grow, and that's why I grow so much, and that's why I've grown so much from when I started. I look for growth. So where a lot of people can become defensive whenever they get presented with some type of critique or something about something that they're doing, I take it as an opportunity to be better at it. You know what I mean? So there's two answers. Either I completely ignore it or I value it and take it into consideration. How do you balance your personal life with your music career? It kind of just all blends together, to be honest. This is my personal life. This is my work, yeah, but this is also what I love to do and I spend most of my time doing anyway. It literally just kind of blends, to be honest. Which sometimes can be good and sometimes can be tough. I was just thinking the other day, I genuinely was feeling the way that I was feeling, I was I really just want to pack up and leave for a week. Just go. I was watching these people on TikTok who live in vans. And they're just living in vans, living their dream, going around the country and, whatever. And I'm I could literally do that because I make my money through TikTok. So as long as I was still able to have my phone and live stream and have some service, then I should do that. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. I was thinking about that recently. It's just I just want to leave kind of thing. But I think that a part of me wanting to leave is less of just to get away from here and explore and more of to stop worrying and stop stressing and stop having so much anxiety about everything that I have to do in my daily life. Just because I take on so many different tasks and so many jobs, whether it's recruiting for the agency that I'm a part of with TikTok or whether that's just helping people in my free time, because a lot of time is spent finding people on TikTok that I like their music and that they need a little kickstart. And so I'll try to help them in any way that I can. So whether that's showing y'all them and then y'all go and support, that is such an amazing, it's so cool to be able to use y'all as a tool to help somebody else. You know what I mean? Just to have that because y'all give it to me, right? Y'all are the power, but to have the power to see somebody and be I want to do something to help him. And then being able to do that and just have all of y'all flock and blue hearts everywhere. That's such a beautiful thing. And I literally cried the other night whenever I had John in there and y'all were all showing him love. I left the live, came back 45 minutes later and a lot of y'all were still in there gifting. And I'm that was just so that just speaks volumes to me. Like, y'all don't have to do that. Y'all could be anywhere in the world right now, or universe, whatever, with the technology that we have now, and y'all choose to be here with me. And so that's so, like, that means so much to me. I appreciate y'all for that. Like, seriously, y'all could be anywhere in the world, and y'all choose to be here listening to me. So thank you. Like, I couldn't do this without you. I wouldn't want to do this without you. So I appreciate you. I love y'all. What keeps you motivated? Because everyone loses motivation. That is very true. Everybody does lose motivation. So there's a few things. One, I just read this new book, and it is called The 5-Second Rule. Something about the 5-second rule is, like, the concept of the 5-second rule is that from the time that your brain thinks of an idea, whether it's, ooh, I should go on TikTok Live, or I need to write a song, or I need to go to the gym, or do some hot yoga, or whatever that may be, you have 5 seconds until your brain tries to sabotage whatever you're thinking, you know? So if I think I need to go to the gym right now, I think to myself, all right, you know what? 5, 4, get up, put your body into motion and start going to the gym. You know, physically move towards the gym. Your mind will follow suit. If you can't, you know, if I'm like in school sitting at in college and I still have 2 hours worth of school to do, I'm like, oh, I need to go to the gym. And I think of it right then. 5, 4, 3, well, I can't right now. I'm at school, right? So then you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, put an alarm in your phone for 2.5 hours from now so that you're reminded again later. You do something, you physically move towards your goal, and your mind will follow suit. But yeah, so the 5-second rule has definitely helped with that. Whenever I feel like I'm unmotivated, I'm just like, you know what, 3, 2, and I just start moving. And most of the time, like, it's getting there. Like, once I'm at the gym, I'm like, oh my gosh, this feels amazing. I love how it feels working out. I enjoy being here. Like, I'm having an amazing time. It's just getting to the gym that is like, oh my gosh, it's so dreadful. Because my brain's just like, what if you get there and it's full? Well, maybe you have to wait in line, or maybe you're gonna hurt yourself today, or maybe you're just not strong enough, or maybe, maybe you should just eat and watch TV instead. Like, you don't need to do that. That's hard work. You don't need to do hard work. And that's exactly what our brain does. Our brain tries to take the easy way out of any possible thing that you can do. So once you get into the flow of not taking the easy way out. And another way that I stay motivated is literally just by, like, when I feel unmotivated, I will, and it kind of all ties hand in hand, right? Because if I feel like I'm not motivated, I 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 put a motivational video on. You know what I mean? 5-second rule, I'm gonna be motivated. So I put a video on that is going to guilt trip me into being motivated again. This is exactly what I do. So I have a few of them that I can send to y'all, or that I can let y'all know, whatever. But yeah, it's just at the end of the day, like, I'll also think of where I want to be. Like, sometimes I'll be at the gym when I'm at the gym and I'm losing motivation while I'm at the gym. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've just done the second set. I have one more set to go. And I'm just like, maybe we'll just skip it today. I'll just, like, look around and I'm just like, that guy right there, that's where I want to be in 5 years. Or I'll be like, that girl right there, that's who I'm trying to get when I'm older. You know what I mean? So whatever. Then I'll be like, I gotta do what I gotta do. I must do what's required. I must do what's required. That's the mindset that you have to have in order to be, the best. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be the best that I can be. I'm trying to be the best that I can be, Literally, there's just so many different ways to try to keep motivation. And sometimes it is very hard. Sometimes it is. And this is the thing that you need to realize, that sometimes take a break. Sometimes you need to take a break. There's balance is important. Balance is very important. What's the most important lesson you've learned as a musician? The most important lesson that I learned as a musician is that how I feel when I'm performing is how y'all feel when I'm performing. So if I'm up here and I'm singing a song that I don't really care about and I don't want to be here, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, what am I doing after this? Like, I wish I just want to go smoke, I want to go drink, I want to go this, I want to go that, I want to go eat, I want to, then the disconnect between me and my music means that there's a disconnect between the listener and the artist. So when I'm really feeling my music, and then I know that y'all are going to really feel it too, And so sometimes it's hard because some days I'm just not feeling it, but I still want to come perform for y'all. And that's the motivation side of things. It's like, I'm not feeling it. I have the motivation to do what I need to do, but I'm just not feeling the music right now. Like, I'm not feeling it. Absolutely. A musician puts his feelings with his singing. Absolutely. I mean, a good musician, yeah. Anybody who, yeah, you know, I feel like they're definitely just singers, people who like sing songs and do covers and stuff like that. But then to be like an actual artist or a musician, like that is when it transcends just the music dimension, or the, you know, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how to put it into words, but this is such an interesting question, or an interesting answer, I should say, just because I've been asked this question a lot. This answer might help people, but I don't know. I just feel like I have a weird brain, so the way that I think of things is just like weird sometimes. Performing live, for me, I have been significantly more anxious and nervous to perform in front of my church group of like 50 people than I was performing in front of 1,000 on American Idol. And the reason why, I don't really know. I think the way that it happened for me was just like, while I was at American Idol, I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like, this is home. You know what I mean? Like, there's no other option right now. Like, this is what I'm meant to do. I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to go in there and kill it and get 3 yeses. And that's why I'm here, because this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And so that just made me feel so comfortable. It's like, I'm where I'm supposed to be. Like, I'm supposed to be here. There's a reason for this. I'm not trying to finesse my way into being on American Idol or finesse my way into the industry. I truly felt at that point that I was supposed to be there. And that is just what gave me all the confidence that I needed. I would definitely say that that doesn't mean that just like all the nerves were gone. And I also did not think that I was top dog hot shit while I was there. I was watching everybody else and I was like, holy crap, all these people are so good. But the difference between, like, at the end of the day, knowing how the industry works, it's not about the talent, like I said. So I'm just like, I don't know, keep doing what I gotta do. And I think that feeling at home is what gave me the upper hand in the competition. How do you stay true to your artistic version while still appealing to your audience? I would say, so as a songwriter, you have to be a real person. You have to be a real person and feel real feelings that people can relate to, because that's what makes a listener connect to the artist. It's what makes the listener connect to the music that they're listening to. So if you don't remove yourself, once you get anywhere in the career of a musician's life, of getting the platform, of having 100,000 followers on Instagram or TikTok, or getting to that level, you start to get to the point of, because you have to, confidence on a stage is a must. You must perform with confidence. And in order to have confidence, you have to know that you got it. You have to know that I did that shit. You know what I mean? But then to write a song, you can't have that mentality. You have to be I'm human. I'm the same as everybody else here. You know? So the finding the balance between those two things, like, you have to be two different people almost. Because a performer and a songwriter are two totally different things. Totally different things. So yeah, it's definitely hard, but I think that taking the time to remove myself from social media and taking those moments where I just take a day or two and I stay to myself, or I go in nature and I just ground myself with prayer, meditation. Those are the things that keep me grounded and keep me true to who I am, keep me a human. So yeah, I think that definitely helps a lot. But that would be my honest answer. What's the most important thing you've learned about yourself through being a musician? I'm low-key, like, I literally just got chills answering that question. Most important thing about being a musician is that you start to realize the power that you can have, or that you do start to have over just everything. Because once you have a platform where people will just listen to anything that you say, like, then you have to really think about who you are as a person. Because once you've done what you need to do to get that platform, you can use that platform for anything you want. That's whenever you have these people who just do stupid shit just for publicity. Like, I feel like it's so stupid. It's so stupid. The saying, no publicity is bad publicity, or all publicity is good publicity, like, that is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life. Because although maybe what they're referring to is like, hey, publicity is publicity, I'm still getting my name out there. Like, yeah, sure, but like, I'm not trying to have my name out there associated with, oh, that guy's a piece of shit, or he doesn't care about anybody but himself, or he's a cocky little, you know, like, why would I want to have my name associated with that? I don't care how many people know my name. I want the things that people are saying about me to be all positive. Like, that's what I care about. I care about being a positive influence on people. So why would I ever try to just gain, you know? So yeah, I don't even remember what the question was, because that gets me heated thinking about that. Important thing I've learned about a musician is to stay true to yourself and not let things like that affect you. Because integrity, yeah, once you get to the point where you have the platform, it's all up to whatever you want to do now. Like, you don't have to remain the, oh my gosh, thank you so much, guys, I'm gonna give back to my top gifter, and thank you so much, this and that. Like, you can literally do whatever you want. And so I think that remaining true to yourself and still doing those things are important. How do you handle creative blocks or periods of low inspiration? Okay. That is definitely still something that I'm working on. But being around other musicians who believe in me, being around other people who believe in me, but especially the musicians that like I said, that I really value their opinion and what they have to say. Having people in your life that will lift you up and like, y'all help me a lot with that. Like, literally just having people to, like, the other day with the song, I showed y'all a song and I was like, look, I'm not gonna lie, I freaking don't like this song. I recorded it and it sounded terrible. I deleted it, and then for some reason Logic saved it. So I go back and I was telling y'all about it, and they were like, everybody was like, you better sing it right now. Sing it. So I was like, okay, fine. So I sing it, and then y'all loved it. And y'all were like, please finish it. I would not have finished that song if it weren't for y'all. I probably wouldn't have even written it if it weren't for y'all. So like, I owe that to y'all. So, to answer your question though, how I had handled it in the past was the exact opposite way that you should handle it. And I took to alcohol and I took to drinking and drugs and things like that, which is what has taught me a lot in life. So, everything happens for a reason kind of thing. But yeah, like, I think that, I don't know. I don't have the answer to that question yet. I'm still trying to figure it out. How do you stay humble and grounded despite success? Hot yoga, working out, just going and taking time away from social media to disconnect and reconnect with the universe and the earth is so important. Taking time to read and self-help books or whatever. I kind of don't like that name, self-help. It just kind of sounds like negative, like a negative connotation. I like to say like inspirational books or things like that, like things that'll, but yeah, so, reading things like the 5-second rule and things like that, that'll help you to stay motivated and help you to remember who you are and where you came from. The Kobe Bryant documentary or the Michael Jordan documentary or Michael Jackson documentary or anything like that. Singing is something that I always enjoyed. Whenever I was a little kid, now, okay, I'll say this, I have learned a lot from myself and from others in my entire life. So the person that I am right now is not at all the same person that I was 5 years ago. I was not the same person at all. So that being said, whenever I was a little kid, I would, we get yearbooks at the end of the year and everything, and everybody go around signing the yearbooks, like, oh, sign my yearbook. Like, so, you know, most people are just putting their name, Jordan, you know, love you, hope you have an amazing summer, see you next year, whatever. I'll write my signature, and then under that, I'll just be like, that's going to be worth millions one year. And that's what I would do on everybody's yearbook. I would just, signature, that's going to be worth millions one year. Signature, that's going to be worth millions one year. And people would always just be like, ha ha ha, like whatever. But like, I was so serious about it. I was like, you're going to want to keep that. Like, you're going to, and I didn't really like, I don't know. I definitely don't have that same mindset now, but that's where it was. And again, I forgot the question. Singing. So I didn't know that I always wanted to be a singer. I didn't know why I was going to be famous, but I knew that I was going to be famous. I knew that it was going to be a thing. It's not even that I cared that I really wanted to be famous. Although, I mean, yeah, like for sure. But it really wasn't about the fame. It was just that I knew, like, it wasn't that I wanted it and was trying to manifest it at the time. Although I'm sure that that's what it was. It was literally, yeah, like I just felt it in my soul. I was like, I know that I'm going to be famous. Like, there was something in my brain, like I didn't know what it was, but as a little kid, I literally used to thought that when I turned 18, I was going to gain a superpower. I used to be like, I can just tell that as I grow and when I turn 18, it's going to be like a really big change in my life. And so I didn't know why. So I just thought, I was like, oh, I'm going to have a superpower or something. Like and this is what it is. So it's so weird. Like, it's so weird. Like, I'm getting chills even just thinking about it. But like, literally, yeah, like I felt like I knew that I was going to, and I used to have dreams all the time that would predict the future. Like, there's so many times whenever, like now in a big moment. So like, we rented out this big studio, like a film studio in Berlin. And we were all dressed in suits, and we had like the smoke and the lights and like everything, the cameras, and we were up there and we were singing. We were waiting to do do a video, like a music video or something like that. And literally in that moment, like I just got full body chills, and like I had deja vu, like I remembered the dream that I had, and it looked like so angelic because everything's just white and the bright lights, and you got like the blue LEDs and this and that or whatever. Yeah. How do you balance the business side of music with the creative side? The business side of music with the creative side. Thank you so much. I don't really know how I balance it because like I'm not really focused on trying to balance it, but I am focused on trying to learn about both sides, because just knowing one side, like, okay, so most people, this is just an example, obviously. You start at McDonald's, you're a cashier, and then you go up to, drive-through. Then you go to like assistant manager, then you go to manager, then you go to general manager, then you go to owning a McDonald's, like whatever. And you have to, make your way up as you learn more, and you start to make more money as you earn more. And so I'm a musician, so obviously just having the description, like most people, like I'm a doctor. Okay, well, I know the general amount that you're making somewhere. I know you're making good money. You know what I mean? With a musician, just saying I'm a musician, you could know that they are either making a shit ton of money or they're making nothing. And that's because as you start as a musician, you literally are like nothing. You're a cashier. You make nothing. And then as you learn to sing, and then you learn to harmonize, and then you learn to play the guitar, then you learn to write music, then you learn to record music and to mix and master, and you learn how to perform, and you learn how to sell out arenas and work the stage and crowd work. As you learn all of these different things, you become more valuable as a musician, and you get paid what you're owed. The amount of time that I put into, like, it's crazy to think about, but like, so I've never made this much, but I have friends who literally go and sing 3 songs and get paid $4,000 or $5,000 for like 3-4 songs. And I'm like, that's insane. But when you really think about it, I mean, dude, they've put 15 years of being a musician behind their belt to get where they are now. So for those 3 songs, yeah, it's going to be a lot more expensive than it would be for me. I'm just kind of starting out. Something tells me he's always been a performer. Yeah, I mean, I've always enjoyed, like, yeah, being a class clown and stuff, for sure. Do I get recognized in my hometown? Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes, for sure. In New Orleans, whenever I'm on the street, I'll definitely, yeah. What's the most important lesson you've learned from a mentor or a role model? I don't know. I don't have like most of these questions I've had just like an answer that kind of popped up. For this one, I don't really, but the first thing that did pop into my head was, so it wasn't really from like a mentor or a role model, but it's something that I think about very regularly. Whenever I was in college, those of y'all who don't know, I started college whenever I was 16. I was very bad in school, but also very smart, too smart for my own good. And it always got me into trouble. And so when I turned 16, I decided I didn't want to do it anymore. I got expelled from my high school, and I decided I'm not going back. I'm just going to go straight into college. And they were like, no, you can't do that. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. And so I ended up taking, I got my GED. I just took the test and went to college. So when I started college, one of the first classes that I took was Psych 101, Psychology 101. And I learned so much from that class. One of the biggest takeaways that I took at the time was how to always win at rock, paper, scissors. Try me if you don't believe me. Biggest takeaway is that everything is psychology. Whenever you're talking to somebody, whenever you have to use psychology so much in everything. Whenever I go live, I'm using psychology. Whenever I'm talking to somebody on the street, I'm using psychology. Whenever I'm on the phone with customer service, I'm using psychology. Whenever I'm setting up an appointment, psychology, literally all the time. You have to use psychology in order to get what you want, essentially. And it's weird because, again, learning things like this, you can use it for good or for bad. Because if you know psychology enough to just make people do your bidding, you can literally just do whatever. You know what I mean? Within reason, obviously. You can't just make anybody do whatever. But yeah, just like learning how to use psychology to your benefit will help you so much in life. Just assuming that you're using it for the proper reasons, of course. Lily, do you produce your stuff? If so, what do you use? I am starting to learn to produce. I'm using Logic Pro, and yeah. Did you go to college for music? No, I went to college for law. I was going to be a lawyer. How do you handle the emotional impact of your music on yourself and others? Not gonna lie, sometimes it's really, really hard. There are times whenever I'm just singing a song of mine, or I'm singing a song that somebody asked, and like literally like it has such an emotional attachment. Like I have an emotional attachment to the song so much that it will like literally, like I'll just break down in the middle of performing. It's happened on live before. I've been singing before and it was just a song that really hit different, and yeah, literally just ended up breaking down in the middle of the live. So how do I handle it? I don't. I cry. Have you ever stopped dead in your tracks while performing to talk to someone who caught your eye? That's a good question. I like that. Okay, let's see. You stop dead in your tracks while performing to talk to somebody who caught your eye. No, I haven't just stopped performing to be like, hey, yo, let me get your number. Like something like that. Is that what you mean? No. But I definitely have like just freestyled along with whatever I was singing. So I'm like, you're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. Damn, baby, you fine. Come get a little frisky. Like whatever, you know, like something like that. But I've never just like stopped singing and be like, hey, yo, hey, let me ask you something. You know, I've never done that. What is the most important thing you've learned about the relationship between music and mental health? I mean, I would really just say that you can use music, like music can help mental health so much. A lot of people, whenever they are really sad, they like to listen to sad music to get the feelings out. And sometimes I do that, but most of the time, I do the opposite. Like if I'm sad and I don't want to be sad, then I'll be like, obviously I'm gonna listen to happy music. But it is smart and good and logical and necessary to feel through your emotions. So I definitely don't mean like if you're sad, just put on happy music and make it go away. Like no, you need to feel through the emotions first. But if there's a moment when like a sad song comes on and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'm on the way to an interview and a sad song comes on, I'm like, no, happy music, you know? How do you stay healthy traveling to places to perform and not get sick, or do you get sick? I don't. How do I stay healthy? I try to do hot yoga regularly, even whenever I'm on the road. So I always try to find a hotel that is close to hot yoga or something that has a yoga place. Most of the time, you can literally get a free week or at least a few days for free at a new hot yoga place. So if you just go to a hot yoga place and try to sign up, like they'll most likely give you a few days free if you ask. So that's what I did this last time whenever I was traveling. I also am very bougie when I eat, I'm not gonna lie. So traveling, most people, I feel like, my problem is that I won't eat if there's not decent food. Like I'm not picky with what I eat as far as like, oh, I don't eat vegetables, or I don't eat fish, or I don't eat this or that. But I am picky, like I'm not about to eat McDonald's. Don't hand me that. I'm not about it. I can't do it. I cannot do it. It'll literally make me throw up. I haven't eaten fast food in years. The only fast food that I eat is Cane's and Chick-fil-A. I love me some Chick-fil-A. But yeah, like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, haven't done that in forever. Dream venue or event, I want to perform in a Times Square billboard like Post Malone did. Like in the billboard, that would be cool. What musician is the idol that got me to want to start singing? I don't really have one. I know that whenever I was younger, I really liked Bruno Mars, and I sang a lot of his stuff. And even whenever I was in 7th grade, sixth grade, I wrote a book and dedicated it to Bruno Mars. So, I mean, if I have to answer, I would say Bruno Mars. But like, I really never had somebody that I was like, oh my gosh, like if there's probably, yeah, I don't think that there's anybody that if they just showed up on my doorstep right now, it was like, hey, you know, that I would start freaking out, crying. Like there's nobody that I would like, you know, like that about, which I kind of don't like. I wish I had somebody like that, but maybe there's a reason why I don't. What kind of movie would you like to be in? I think I would love to be in a comedy at some point, because that'd be cool. But I don't know. I guess like if I just had to guess, I'd probably be like one of the guys I don't know, one of the guys in school, like one of the bullies or something. I don't want to be that though. Love the Q&A. Yes, me too. Yeah, can we do that more often? I really like that. I enjoyed that a lot, actually. That was really sick. I enjoyed that. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, can you be free to calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones.